Well, tonight, JoyNews has gone undercover to unravel the training of a militia group affiliated with the governing New Patriotic Party at a state facility here in Accra, which is classified as a security zone. We promised you that we're going to bring you that documentary. But head of the investigations team here at JoyNews, Manasseh Azuri Awone, is joining me right now to share with us some insights before we bring you the entire documentary later on tonight. Hello, Manasseh. So we're going to be showing the documentary as we have been saying all day. But before we bring our viewers the documentary, which is at 8:30, that's an hour and a half from now, I'd want you to share with us what you have found in this investigation undercover work.
Well, Israel, what we did was to follow a tip-off and try to find out whether what we heard was true. And true to what we heard, we went to this building and realized that hundreds of young people who said they were affiliated to the NPP and were under a commander were coming there to train and meet. And so we followed the activities for some time, tried to get regulatory bodies to find out whether they are duly registered. And what we found was that this is not a registered security company. So we followed the activities, and in the wake of this discussion we having about militia party, political party militias, we decided to get into it and find out exactly how this feeds into that broader conversation. And this is what we have packaged, Israel, for our audience this evening.
Now, Manasseh, you say that these people you're talking about say they belong or they're members of the New Patriotic or affiliated with the governing New Patriotic Party. But have we been able to establish that as a fact?
Yes, we have been able to establish that. We have had recordings or sessions during their meetings when their leaders made speeches to that effect. We have also tracked and followed this group to an MPP event held in Accra here, where they served as security guards across the Accra International Conference Center. So for that, it is a fact. We have also spoken to some members of this group and even some members of government who have confirmed these are party people or young men who are affiliated to the New Patriotic Party.
Now, Manasseh, what will this documentary prove to us, or what will it show?
Well, Israel, the government, the politicians in opposition have always tried to distance their parties from the activities of these groups. And what they often say is that some individuals control these groups. But here we are getting to know that a very important facility of the Republic of Ghana is being used to house this group, and that is very disturbing because one would expect that at this moment when the opposition, the government and everybody is making an attempt to disband these groups, the least we would expect is to find them in a facility belonging to the state, and not just any facility but a very sensitive one at that.
Now, how long have you been following the activities of this training militia, this training group?
We have been following since last year, October, when we first had a tip-off and made a number of visits. And it took some time before we started getting into the building, following them across, speaking to some members. So this year largely what we have done is to try to get them to respond and also get some response from the government or the office of the president.
And have you been successful in that, in getting any response from the government?
Yes, we have got a response from the government, and the Director of Communications at the Office of the President said no such group operates from the facility we mentioned, and he said he had made checks with the national security. He also said that the President does not know about the existence of this group let alone to sanction their activities. So the most important thing now is to find out whether or not there is a group like this which operates from the facility we are talking about, or as he alludes to the national security information, what we have is not right. And I can assure you that if you watch the video, you'll be left with no doubt but to agree that what we have is true and that there is a group of that nature operating from the facility we have mentioned.
All right, thank you very much, Manasseh Azuri-Awuni, and he's head of our investigations team here, and we have put together, or they have put together, a documentary which shows that indeed there is the training of a militia group in a sensitive area, a sensitive state-owned facility here in Accra. We will be showing you that documentary. It comes up at 8:30 right here on JoyNews Prime, so do stay tuned in for that. It's going to be online and on TV, on radio as well, so do stay tuned for that. You're watching JoyNews Prime. We're taking a break. We will be back with you in a bit.
JoyNews investigation has revealed that the group has two offices in this building, one as the secretariat of the group and another as the office of the commander. The Ministry of Interior, which licenses private security agencies, has told JoyNews the I Group is not licensed to provide any security services. Sources within the group, however, say the I Group undertakes security operations in and out of Accra. A private legal practitioner, Martin Kwebu, says it is an offense to operate a security group without any license from the Interior Ministry.
Once your checks have revealed that this I vigilante is not registered, yet they are providing the services, then, unless there are any other facts that we are not aware of, it means that there is a breach of the law, and it comes with very serious consequences. If a person, both for the persons employed as the security guards and also for the organizations, Regulation 14 makes it an offense for people or a person to work for an unregistered security organization, and also for the organization itself to provide security services when it's not been duly registered. And so Regulation 15 says that in that case, if the person is found guilty, so it means that after this, if you make a report and the police also investigate and confirm what you've already investigated, they want to prosecute, they are facing a fine and up to 1 year imprisonment.
Right.
So this is just a teaser of the documentary which we'll be showing you at 8:30 right here on this channel, so do stay tuned in. But still ahead in the bulletin, a member of the opposition National Democratic Congress said to be leader of militia group The Hawks denies having any links with the group when he appeared before the Justice Short Commission.
So
I'm not a member of the Hawks, and
we'll be back in a bit here on JoyNews Prime. Stay tuned in. Now, the Ghana Police Service is yet to authenticate a tape said to have the voice of the national chairman of the opposition National Democratic Congress, making remarks said to have national security implications. Samuel Fosu-Ampofo has been slapped with 4 charges emanating from the comments attributed to him. He has, however, denied the comments, insisting the tape is doctored. Today, he returned to face investigators on the matter and spoke with the media. He says the police will find it difficult to prove the allegations.
I just want to assure the chairman
who is a very peaceful person, a law-abiding person, who want to steer the party very, very smoothly within the confines of the law to win 2020. These are diversionary tactics. We want to remain focused, very, very focused on our agenda of winning 2020. My only advice is that if there is anybody to arrest and focus on, we should focus on the dollar that has escaped and is running away, and not focus on Ofusompofo.
You say your arrest is the diversionary tactics. From what?
I am not a security threat to this country.
Yeah, but
and I'll continue to be a very peaceful person. No. Then this is a credible party, and nothing at all will be done by our party to undermine the credibility of the party. We will still continue to remain very, very.
A member of Mr. Ampofo's legal team, Dominic Kayene, described the charges against his client as baseless. He believes Mr. Ampofo will walk a free man.
Today was a reporting day, so basically what they did was to ask him whether he stood by the statement that he made, and he had nothing substantive to add to it. And they basically said, well, if that is the case, then they will continue their investigation and let the chairman come again on Tuesday. I don't know whether to report or for him to be, cautioned on other matters that, arose out of the tape.
And the statement he stood by was the fact that he denied that the audio, the leaked, the tape was his or his voice, clearly.
Yes, that was the statement he made to the police. He said he wasn't going to comment on it because
he wasn't going to comment, or he was denying that it was his voice.
Yeah, it was doctored. He did. What he said to the police was that he would not comment, on a doctored tape.
So what it means is that though it's his voice, but it's been doctored. Is that what
well, if that is a spin you will put on it, that is fine. That is your perspective in terms of the question, because see, we also we listen to the tapes, all right, and we realize that a lot of them were spliced and put together to give a certain impression to the general public. Okay, and so that is the stance that we've taken on this matter.
So what are the chances of your client in this case?
100% chance of walking free, because we have examined the law. We have examined Act 29, and we think that there is nothing in that tape that incriminates the chairman. So we think that, at the end of the day, okay, he will be, a free person walking away from both the police and the court system.
Well, DSP Julian Obeng, who speaks for the Criminal Investigations Department of the Ghana Police Service, tells my colleague Kwesi Parker-Wilson the police is yet to authenticate whether the alleged leaked tape is that of the voice of NDC chairman Samuel Ofusompofo.
It was based on an intercepted audio message that had speculated on both social and then traditional media, which suggested that one, it was his voice that suggested an alleged voice. Then secondly, it had security implications. The reason then for the CID headquarters, which is in charge of investigations in the country, to invite him over for further and better interrogation, and then of course to move on from which happened on Monday. And so today he reported. We asked that he goes back and then come again, like I already mentioned, on the 12th of March. Investigations with him on that particular matter.
But has the police been able to ascertain that indeed the audio is that of the voice of the chairman of the NDC?
Well, I think that I've just mentioned that we are still on investigations.
You haven't done that yet?
If we're able to get to that level, we would let the general public know. But investigations on this particular matter is ongoing.
Ghanaians would want to know whether the police has been able to authenticate the voice and whether it is or is not the voice of the chairman.
At the end of investigation, we should be able to establish what you have said or otherwise. As it is now, investigations are ongoing. Let me just say that it's an investigation, and so it's a process. It's not an event. It's not something that would start today and finish today. It's something that would start today and end when I don't even know, because then it's an ongoing process. So let Ghanaians be patient. We have done it before and we'll continue to do it. Let's just stay.
But do you have what it takes to authenticate the voice?
Well, even if we do not have it here at the CID, even if we do not have it here at the CID headquarters, nothing stops us from getting it where it will be.
Government has finally presented a total of 1,750,000 cedis to families of 7 Zongo men who were shot and killed by the police at Manso Nkwanta in the Ashanti region. Presenting the checks to the families, the Minister for Zongo and Inner City says the donation of the money is part of the fulfillment of the President's promise he made to the family. Mahmoud Mohamed Nuruddin reports.
On July 17, 2018, the Ashanti Regional Police shot and killed 7 Zongo youth at Manso Nkwanta in the Ashanti region. The police claimed that the men were armed robbers, adding they exchanged fire with them. The 7 bereaved families protested the claim, insisting they were not armed robbers. Government set up a committee which investigated and concluded that indeed the 7 did not fire at the police, a finding which clearly contradicted statements by the Ashanti Regional Police. The committee recommended that the family should be compensated. Government has fulfilled part of the recommendation by presenting checks to families at the premises of the Kumasi Central Mosque. Many dignitaries, including chief imams of the various sects, Zongo chiefs, among others, were in attendance.
The President promised that in line with the recommendations of the committee that was set up to look into this matter, each of the families will be compensated with an amount of 250,000 Ghana cedis each. And of course, that compensation, Muslims in Islam have a principle that is called diya, which the white people translate as blood money, if you want. And so the payment of compensation for people who have been unjustifiably killed is also according to Islamic principle and tradition and custom.
Families of the deceased expressed their gratitude to
the President. We are also grateful to the committee of the Zongo 7, together with all that we did this program. In fact, when this issue started, the Zongo chiefs, the ulama, and the opinion leader came together and said, now Zongo has moved forward. We will not stand and let chaotic situation take over. You saw what happened that very day. So our chiefs, imam, the Zongo chiefs, quickly formed a committee of the Zongo 7 to come together and see how best we can address this issue.
We thank the President as well. We salute him for the promise that he made us and he fulfilled also. And we are pleading to the President. He has already promised us that those who commit that nasty things, I'm talking about the policemen, they will be brought to book. So we are pleading to him. We are waiting to see that day, because no amount of money can buy a soul of a woman being.
Dr. Mustafa Hamid lamented the increase in number of Zongo youth in violent cases.
If we succeed in rooting out illicit drugs, vigilantism, streetism, and delinquency and so on from our Zongo communities, I believe that in the future we would not anymore be talking about the illicit killings of people. Right now we are mourning our brother, a Zongo brother, Wasiu, who unfortunately has been shot by one of our own. I mean, really and truly, are we going to continue in this fashion, where either we kill ourselves or outsiders kill us, either in the name of vigilantism or streetism or whatever? That cannot continue.
Government assured the general public that due process would be followed in the pursuit of justice and calls for continued calm and patience pending conclusive determination of the matter. But there's a lingering question. If the Zongo youth did not fire back at the police, then where did the police gather spent bullet shells and bullets exhibited to journalists?
Now, a member of the opposition National Democratic Congress accused of being the leader of the Hawks, a militia affiliated with the party, has denied having any links with the group. Director of Operations at the National Security Secretariat, Colonel Michael Opoku, in his testimony before the Justice Short Commission, presented pictures of Theophilus Sedodi wearing T-shirts with the inscription "The Hawks." and named him as the known leader of the militia group. But Mr. Sedodi, who appeared before the commission on Thursday, vowed he was only handed the T-shirt to wear and that he has absolutely no affiliation with the group. There's more in the following report.
Theophilus Sedodi, a member of the opposition NDC, was one of 7 suspects arrested by the National Security SWAT team and handed over to the police on the day of the Ayawaso West Wogan by-election. Director of Operations at the National Security Secretariat, Colonel Michael Opoku, told the Short Commission members of the pro-NDC militia, the Hawks, of which Mr. Sedodi is known to be leader, were responsible for the violence at La Bawaleshi.
I saw one huge person and I was told he's the leader of the Hawks vigilante group. I actually Googled the picture and I saw that he was the leader of the Hawks. He's the face of Hawks on internet. There's some huge man you see at the back, Hawks, fair. He was one of those who were arrested.
The said leader of the Hawks, identified in the photos, introduced himself as Theophilus Sedodi to the Justice Short Commission and admitted being the one in the pictures wearing a T-shirt with the inscription Hawks. He, however, denied being a member of the group. Counsel of the Commission suggested to Mr. Sedodi he was a member of the Hawks, but he disagreed.
You are a member of the Hawk, and all the photographs do show.
But T-shirt, and I'm share, and the second picture, and say, "Yebe that's my first time. I made the former president, Asia, so I guess close to him. Say, Obi Krabe Chamia made the better me."
So I'm not a member of the Hawks, and that when we were about to close the walk, I moved close to the former president, and so that somebody could take a picture of me.
Despite a caution from the chair of the commission, Justice Short, Mr. Sedodi insisted he had absolutely no links with the group.
Mr. Theophilus, let me remind you that you have sworn an oath to tell the truth.
Yes, please.
And if you don't tell the truth, you are liable to be prosecuted for perjury.
Another member of the opposition NDC who was at La Bawaleshi where the violent clashes occurred, Amidou Amadou, also appeared before the commission. It has been suggested by National Security Minister Albert Kandapa and Minister of State in charge of National Security Brian Ichampong and SWAT Commander DSP Samuel Ozugu that the national security operatives were prevented from searching the residence of the NDC's parliamentary candidate by an agitated crowd. But Mr. Amadou, who was part of the crowd, challenged that claim.
Then he started mentioning his name, shouting and mentioning his name. But the guy didn't mind him. Then they pounced on him.
He presented as evidence to the commission a video in which he is seen being kicked by masked men in black shirt and khaki trousers. He told the commission he was simply preventing the operatives from searching a vehicle as he doubted the legality of their actions.
According to evidence before the commission, the men in black and brown were attracted to the scene by a gunshot. Did you witness that?
My Lord, that's not true.
Yet another member of the NDC picked up on the day who Seidu introduced himself as a farmer when he appeared before the commission on Thursday.
That day, I was beaten so mercilessly that they were mentioning security, then my heart would beat. So it happened that when they said security, I responded security.
The commission, however, had some concerns as to
my Lord, that he wasn't that all confused.
Oh. He wasn't confused at the time of the firing.
He was in between.
Can I suggest to him that all the nice little details he's giving us today
have all been from a state of confusion, and that we cannot rely on his word.
My Lord, I think you have to accept all that I've said.
The Commission will hold a news conference on Friday.
We're taking a break here on JoyNews Prime to bring you business news. And coming up in business, prices of petroleum products go up by a little of about 4%. We will be telling you more and why you're having to pay more at the pumps. Stay tuned in. We'll be back. And then much later on, and about less than an hour from now, we'll be bringing you that documentary we have been talking about JoyNews unraveling some training taking place at a sensitive state facility here in Accra of MPP or pro-MPP militia group. Do stay tuned in. That's at 8:30. The Finance Ministry, Parliament and the Presidency have been petitioned over the decision to impose extra levies on vehicles with high engine capacities. This was after a protest by some vehicle and spare parts dealers who say they have seen a decline in the sale of vehicles with engine capacities of 3.0 and above following the imposition of the levies last year. President of the Association of Vehicles and Assets Dealers, Eric Boateng, says they are expecting a response from government in the next few weeks. Maxwell Agbagba has more.
Scores of car and spare parts dealers from Abosu Kai, owners of cars with high engine capacity, gathered at the Kwame Nkrumah Circle. Many of them here are of the view that the tax is nothing but a rip-off, and they have vowed to protest until government intervenes. The executive director of the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers, Duncan Amwa, says the decision is affecting the sale of vehicles with high engine capacity.
These vehicles you are talking about, as they run daily, are creating wealth for the state. Because if you buy a liter of petrol in Ghana today, you are paying almost 2 cedis in taxes alone to the state. And so if these vehicles should decide that we'll all pack and we'll all go and look for a Picanto to buy, what it means is that the 3.0 would do 3 times what the Picanto would do to the state by way of revenue.
Kwame Edupoku is an economics teacher. He uses a 3.0 Ford Ranger. He has some suggestions for the government.
The pickups, for example, cannot be classified as luxury taxis, luxury vehicles. They are seen as utility vehicles used for farming and other purposes. So I don't understand why, for example, a pickup should be seen as a luxury vehicle and therefore should also attract that particular tax. Maybe saloon vehicles that are more of the flashy type.
There were some disagreements here at the Ministry of Finance when the protesters arrived here. They insisted that they wanted to present the petition to the Finance Minister himself. He had to take the intervention of the police to calm things down here before the petition was presented to the Chief Director of the Finance Ministry.
After the march, the group petitioned the leadership of Ghana's parliament and later moved to the Jubilee House. There were disagreements over the venue for the presentation of the petition as the group wanted to move their cars in front of the seat of government.
Sorry, I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry for this government. They don't respect everybody. They don't respect anybody in this nation. That is not what Nana Addo and his government promised us. They promised us that they will deliver to every Ghanaian.
Public Relations Officer of the Accra Region Police, DSP Fiatingi, says although there were some minor disagreements, the demonstration was peaceful.
Protesters finally had the opportunity to present their petition to the Deputy Chief of Staff. He assured them that when President Akufo-Addo returns from Tamale, where he is at the moment, he would respond to their petition.
President of the Vehicle and Asset Dealers Association, Eric Boateng, says they are giving government 2 weeks to respond to their petition. He says there will be more demonstrations if government fails to meet their demands.
We still go on the demonstration. And then the 10 regions, we decided from here, within 2 weeks' time, no any response or tangible reasons for this demonstration. We demonstrate in Kumasi. From Kumasi, then we'll move Takrady. Then finally, no results, we'll go to court.
Well, time now for the JoyNews undercover investigation, which reveals the existence of a militia group affiliated with the governing MPP operating in secret from a state facility classified as a security zone. The revelation comes at a time when the president has repeatedly stated his commitment to rid the country of politically related violence in the wake of the Ayawaso West Wuogon by-election, which culminated in the establishment of the Justice Short Commission. This documentary, however, shows that amidst all the talk and commitment, a lesser-known MPP-affiliated militia group has been training and operating from an important state building classified as a security zone. Manasseh Azuria Winnie spent months tracking the activities of this group.
The leaders of the two main political parties in our country, MPP and NDC, to bring an end to this worrying and unacceptable phenomenon of vigilantism.
If we don't sit up, police, political parties, both NDC and MPP, civil society, those who know better, if we all don't sit up, 2020 and beyond will be something explosive.
We call these things political vigilantism, and we don't quite appreciate how bad. It is plain warlordism, and they are malicious.
On 31st January 2019, the attention of Ghanaians was on the Ayawaso West Wuogon constituency in the national capital, Accra. This is the most elite constituency in Ghana, home to the richest residential areas in the country and Ghana's premier university, the University of Ghana. The Member of Parliament for the area, Emmanuel Chamatin Ejakun, had passed, and a by-election was being held to elect a new MP. The leading contenders were the National Democratic Congress's Delali Kwasi Brimpong and a mistress of the late MP, Lydia Sieram Al-Hassan, of the governing New Patriotic Party, MPP.
Take you over. Confidence na me nya wo mu no. Me disappointing mo da.
What was expected to be a peaceful by-election turned violent a little over an hour after voting began. A group of armed and masked men stormed the constituency and clashed with some supporters of the NDC. It started from the residence of the NDC candidate and later spread to the Labaoleshi cluster of schools, which served as a polling station.
You see gunshot! You see gunshot! You see gunshot!
The police on the ground said they did not know about the masked men. A member of parliament was assaulted. Some persons sustained gunshot wounds.
Almost more than 50.
They shoot one of our guys in leg, one of in hand, and then one of that is a certain man to that one to be like they shock in here. It's not small.
The NDC pulled out of the by-election, citing violence and insecurity.
This by-election has been turned into a war zone. We cannot subject
any of our members to danger because of elections, we have no option than to withdraw from the ongoing exercise.
Truth. And nothing but the truth.
And nothing but the truth.
So help me God.
So help me God.
The nationwide outrage against the violence compelled the government to set up a commission of inquiry to investigate what happened at Ayawaso West Wogon.
My Lord, there is a very good bond between...
Even before the commission finishes its work and submits its recommendations, the general cause of the violence appears to be obvious. Clashes involving violent political party thugs, popularly called vigilante groups, have become a ritual in the political space. 3 weeks before the Ayawaso West Wogon by-election, Commissioner of Police Nathan Kofi Boachi warned that if political vigilantism was not dealt with seriously, there would be serious implications for the 2020 election.
If we don't sit up, police, political parties, both NDC and MPP, civil society, those who know better, if we all don't sit up, 2020 and beyond will be something explosive, and it can be something that will not be able to contain.
A member of the Ayawaso West Wogon Commission of Inquiry and criminal law lecturer of the University of Ghana, Professor Henry Mensa Bonsu, said the thugs should not be called vigilante groups.
We call these things political vigilantism, and we don't quite appreciate how bad. It is plain warlordism, and they are malicious. They are not political vigilantes. They are malicious. And so it gives me concern if you are responsible for internal security and they are malicious operating all over, and they are private militias subject to some people's control. Those people are warlords.
I want to use the platform of this message to make a sincere, passionate appeal to the leaders of the two main political parties in our country, MPP and NDC, to come together as soon as possible, preferably next week, to agree on appropriate measures to bring an end to this worrying and unacceptable phenomenon of vigilantism in our body politic.
JoyNews investigation, however, reveals there is a militia group within the MPP which appears to have the backing of the government.
Right.
Make no mistake, this is not a state security agency, and this is not a private facility. This is the Christian Bok Castle, popularly called the Osu Castle in Accra, and this is the training ground and headquarters of the I Group, a militia group affiliated to the governing MPP.
1, 2, 3, 1.
Until 2013, the Osu Castle was the seat of government. Currently, it is the annex to the seat of government, the Jubilee House. 4 ministers of state at the office of the president are housed here. The Commission on the Creation of the New Regions had their meetings here, and the Commission of Inquiry into the Ayawaso West Wogon election violence also holds sittings here. But this is where the I Group, a militia group affiliated with the MPP, has been operating from in the past 2 years when this government took office.
1, 2, 3, 1.
The commander of this group is Nana Reko Ado, popularly known as Choman. Choman is a former personal bodyguard of the President of the Republic, Nana Adodankwa Akufo-Addo. JoyNews investigation has revealed that the group has 2 offices in this building, one as the secretariat of the group and another as the office of the commander. When JoyNews contacted the presidency on this story, the Director of Communications at the Office of the President, Eugene Ahi, gave the following response. The President has no knowledge of the alleged activities of this said group, let alone sanction the activities. My checks from National Security have revealed that no such group is operating from the castle. Despite this denial, the group does not conceal where it operates from. On its website, theigroup.com, the iGroup describes itself as a security company whose personnel are trained by retired military officers. It has its motto as vigilance and protection. Christianborg Osu Castle is its address on the website. The Ministry of Interior, which licenses private security agencies, has told JoyNews the iGroup is not licensed to provide any security services. Sources within the group, however, say the iGroup undertakes security operations in and out of Accra. A private legal practitioner, Martin Kwebu, says it is an offense to operate a security group without any license from the Interior Ministry.
Once your checks have revealed that this vigilante is not registered, yet they are providing the services, then, unless there are any other facts that we are not aware of, it means that there is a breach of the law, and it comes with very serious consequences. If a person, both for the persons employed as the security guards and also for the organizations, Regulation 14 makes it an offense for people or a person to work for an unregistered security organization, and also for the organization itself to provide security services when it's not been duly registered. And so Regulation 15 says that in that case, if the person is found guilty, so it means that after this, if you make a report and the police also investigate and confirm what you've already investigated, they want to prosecute, they are facing a fine and up to 1 year imprisonment.
Mr. Dumbo has started speaking.
On December 7, 2018, the MPP held a ceremony at the Accra International Conference Center to celebrate the legacy and launch the foundation of one of the founding members of the party's ideology, Simon Dombo. The program was attended by almost everyone who matters in the MPP, including former President John Ejiokum Kufuor, Vice President Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia and his wife Samira. President Akufo-Addo was the special guest of honor.
We are met here this evening to commemorate the life of an extraordinary Ghanaian, a nationalist, selfless patriot, revered chief, eminent statesman, and one of the three founders of the Dankwa Domo Busia political tradition, which gave birth to the new patriotic party, the ruling party in Ghana.
A number of ministers of state attended this program. The iGroup provided security at the Accra International Conference Center. They manned the gate to the conference center and were everywhere, including the main entrances to the conference hall. Members of the group were informed of this event 3 days earlier. On the day, as on any other day, participants were not searched. Our investigation team was with the group the whole day and followed them to the conference center. Members of the militia group who attended this event were about 400. Those who did not take part in security operations served as audience. Monday, December 10, 2018 was the first meeting of the group after the conference center event. That morning, Fraser Orekwu-Keja, one of the leaders of the iGroup, who is referred to as the Chief of Staff, addressed members of the militia group. He told them President Akufo-Addo had asked about the group at the conference center.
President is a Kofoben and one who first. ɛkɔnkɔn na fura panyin a yɛnim sɛ asɛm wei deɛ ɛsɛ fa no ho ankasa paa ɛsɛ mfiri ɔte yɛ nkɔ na ɔso nkɔ la bɛn ɔte dɛ ai mobɔ wo sɛ ahoya ɛsɛ efu papa no a papa no efu kasɛ no ana ɔte ai mosa mɔ mo hyɛ mɔ ahoya ɛne mɔ wo baabi a yɛkɔ mesi mɔ wo baabi a yɛkɔ wamisa anya no nwanwa po anya no nwanwa po no na bi enkola no a wonwa kasto na na anya si ai omo wo shama mu
JoyNews sources within the group say the National Security Ministry is aware about the operations of the group at the castle. Sources within the I Group told JoyNews the National Security Operations Director, Colonel Michael Opoku, had attempted to stop the group from operating from the castle on a number of occasions, but failed. At one of the meetings in 2018, Nana Rekon-Addo told members of the group that the National Security Secretariat had tried to undermine the group and had often sent spies to find fault with their operations at the Osu Castle.
Almost a two problem or two or the cat will let baby know. I know here. If I don't know it, but what's not the kind of the town of the wild soul, I don't let you know, baby. I mean, I like a secretary of old, which is baby, I am yesterday, but then it's always me a time. Don't go on, get over this, you have. There's no good to know more. The more 50. Oh, that's right. Yes, I'll sit down with Baba. I never put a better message. Give me a street boy. Give me a street boy. Give me a one or two. It is all one or two guardia. And they'll act now about the Don't be set from go through, and then I saw him. Don't be set from go through, and then I saw him. And so, you share my room. I'm back. I will dress your jacket there, so and yeah, say it's young in Canada, your man is like a passion, so no one could see the jacket. When you know, I'm a national citizen. I give you because what about better will be no. One must question for me. The eye will see now. I ever look at one. I ever know. Yes, it's a bare 1,000 jackets.
A research conducted as part of this investigation reveals this group existed before Akufo-Addo won power. In June 2012, a daily guide publication headlined Vigilante Group Vows to Protect Ballot said the I Group had been formed by Choman, Nana Akufo-Addo's bodyguard. The story said, and I quote, "The I Vigilante Group is made up of energetic men and female MPP members across the country whose primary target is to protect MPP members against any attacks by lawless people." End of quote. 2018, the chief of staff of the group, Fraser Oreku-Keja, told TV3 in an interview that the group had a membership of over 5,000 youth.
The I Group is all over the 10 regions of this country, and we over 5,000 members incredibly every day. You understand? And the I Group is made up of youth of this country that believes in the ideas and the policies of Nana Addo Dankwa's government.
Leaders of the group say they facilitated the drafting of members of the group into the security agencies and helped them get jobs.
Overall, girl, best.
Both the commander and chief of staff of the group have on different occasions warned members of the group against acts of lawlessness. But it appears Some of them are often engaged in criminal acts and have often had brushes with the law. Here is their chief of staff in one of their meetings.
Chief, police.
On another occasion, one of the trainers congratulated the group because no member of the group had been arrested that weekend.
I also thank all of you that you can encounter any arrest. Police are showing reaction. God bless you.
The I group is divided into 4 units: the Alpha, Charlie, Delta, and the Special Unit. They meet on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Sometimes there are up to 400 of them in the castle. They wear black suits and white shirts. It appears a number of top government officials and ministers in the Akufo-Addo's government know about this group and its operations at the castle, but those we have contacted decline to comment on the matter. The castle is still a security zone and cameras are not allowed here. This means the hundreds of vigilante or party militia groups cannot operate here without a clearance from top government officials. The National Security Ministry and the National Security Secretariat know about this group because the castle is currently protected by operatives of the National Security Council and the police. Vehicles at the presidency and others also refuel at a station outside the Osu Castle where the group operates. The group's weekly activities in the castle are open, often between 7 a.m. and 12 noon, and they go there in their hundreds.
Father, as we have gathered here, we have gathered as one family under the MPP family. We pray and commit the president into your hands, the vice president, and our commander, Joman, and all his lieutenants in the name of Jesus Christ. We commit all.
On 21st December 2018, which happened to be the last meeting of the group in the year, there was a get-together at the castle where loud music entertained hundreds of members of the group deep into the night. JoyNews has tried on several occasions to speak to Nana Reko-Addo, the commander of the group, but he has not availed himself after initially agreeing to a meeting. Apart from using the garden of the castle for training, the I Group and its leader have 2 offices in this important state building. The question is, who gave them this building and who at the top intervened when the National Security Ministry drove them out of the castle? For Joy News, Manasseh Azore Arena reporting.
So there you have it, the militia in the heart of the nation. But here at Joy News, we maintain our stance that we disband party militias now. My name is Israel Lyon, and that'll be it for Joy News Prime for tonight.